To Seasparkle's Corner. This is the next episode of my mother's adventure, Sylvia Thompson's adventure. She wants to share something with you.
Okay, I lived in Norfolk, Massachusetts, and Mama and Dad had my Uncle Jeffrey and my Aunt Louise lived in Norwood, Mass. And Daddy on the weekend would go up there and on a Friday after he left work, and we'd gas up the car because he owned a gas station there. And the last Christmas, one of these last Christmas I got a teddy bear given to me that was bigger than me. And I went with my parents, and my mother and father went off. It was right in Norwood, in the center. And my parents would go off to shop, and she said, Sylvia, you can stay and help Uncle Jeff at the gas station. So after the parents left, I thought, what am I going to do? I said, I'm going to pick up my teddy bear. It's a big brown one. It looked just like a real one. And I stood it up in the back seat of the car, and I was sitting there talking to it. And two people come up to the car, and they said, little girl, you better get out. You're going to get hurt. And I said, but it's not a real one. Oh, yes, it is. We're going to go call the police. And Uncle Jeff came out and said, don't do that. It's my niece's brown teddy bear she got for Christmas. And I'm not exaggerating. It was right up to here on me and about this big. So that's one of the adventures I had. And I was about, I would say, 6 or 7 years old at the time.
That's why when I got one for Magenta when she was born, my sister's daughter, I got it pink.
Yeah, mine was brown. Yeah. So that's that. And when I was a little girl, I lived in a country where there was no school buses. So 2 grades, I had to go, the 2nd grade and the 8th grade, I had to go to City Mills, which was just a small school. And they kept it for the 2 grades that there weren't room enough in the wooden school. So I was one of them chosen, so I had to ride a bus to and back. Other than that, we weren't taught the right things either. We had the same grade we had before because we were considered extra people for each of the grade 2nd and 8th. So, and in those days we had to wear snowsuits in the winter and long brown socks all the way up and wear a strap around your stomach to keep your socks up all the way to your body. So that's another thing. And then when I was in 2nd grade, coming back from getting off the bus, because I had to go the bus, and the bus driver said, it's all clear, go across. I said, okay. He said, I'll see you tomorrow. And in the next minute, I knew I was being hit in the head by a person's car, and I'm laying on the middle of the ground. And in those days, we had no hospital. And the doctors didn't have any office. They were out of their own home. So that's what happened on that occasion. I spent 10 days in my bed, not going to school because I had concussion in my head, and I was only in 2nd grade. So that's some of my little accidents.
Did you get arrested? Because they get arrested nowadays.
There was no such rule in those days. They perfectly legal for him to pass the bus. The
It's
bus
illegal
driver,
now.
he came so fast. You see that when the bus driver said it, it was clear. But by the time I got in front of the bus a little bit to go across to my property, he plowed me down, and I was laying on the ground in the road. And they said they couldn't take me to the hospital because there was no such thing. They were too far away. Better just keep her in her bed at home and don't let her out of bed. Because in those days you had a doctor that, had nothing. It was in the olden days, way back, that was about 80, in the low 80s.
It couldn't have been.
Wait a minute, I'm trying to think. No, I was 7 years old when it happened.
Okay, you were born in 1934, so you had 7
Yeah.
years, 35,
Yeah, it was
36,
about
37,
91.
38, 39, 40, 1941.
Yeah, I knew it was way back there.
Because in the 80s, my son was already born.
Yeah. I couldn't. It's so long ago. That's almost 90 years ago. I mean, since I've been alive, because I'm almost 90 in a few months. So, but I got all those little stories if anybody's interested.
Of course they are.
So I thought I'd tell you. And down here, we're 125 and 127, and at night we're in the low 90s, and it's been the worst summer we've ever had. And the John Pool.
Thanks for watching, and as always, the fun never ends in Seasparkle's
Cut that
Corner.
off.